Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. So my previous subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video in particular, we're going to be talking about and discussing former Vice President Harris' speech that she's planning to give for the 100-day mark for the 45 administration. We'll talk about that in today and why it's astrologically very significant. Now, as you all know, we talked about prior to all this ongoing, we talked about the time period between March 1st to April 12th, 2025, that mark that when Venus enters retrograde and enters from being in Aries back into Pisces. However, that has since then changed. In this time period, this is what I wrote in my Checkup channel, and you guys can let me know if any of this had come true or not. We do know one of them has definitely came true. We definitely know that for sure. It says in this time period under Venus retrograde is where you can see toxic outcomes of people fighting and making up. We saw this with 45 and Zelensky hours of the interview taking place in Venus retrograde. A reemergence of an exile topic or a person coming back from the past. This could relate to issues one talked about from the past. I'm seeing people like Putin and the Mueller report. Any sort of connection will be temporary, of course. Spending can be massive this month, and it could mean that the congressional funding bill may be larger than ever or larger than normal. I'm not sure if Congress has passed a spending bill, but they did. It's probably most likely larger than normal. But you guys can always correct me in the comment section below. This is normally not a good idea financially long term. This period could provide a clear glimpse on how weak the economy truly is. It may even crash, which is true. It had crashed during this exact time frame. I expect problems related to America's hitting past to reemerge and cause new issues. So that was the effect that I saw from when Venus retrograde goes from being in Aries back into Pisces. Now that on April 30th, which is when Harris planned to make her speech, former Vice President Harris planned to make her speech addressing the issues and the effect of the 45 administration, it's taking place on April 30th. When you start to look at April 30th, it talks about on April 30th, the astrological event of Venus entering Aries again will occur, influencing the signs of Capricorn and Cancer. Cancer is the United States. The United States is emboldened, and the United States was born in the astrological realm of Cancer. So it's going to be a very moving time, and it's also going to be a time that affects the United States entirely. Additional, there's going to be some meteor showers, peaks during this time period, making it a good time for stargazing, in case any of you guys want to do stargazing. But a Cancer, for those of us of the United States, how is Venus in Aries going to affect the United States? Well, great thing you asked. It lights up Cancer's career sector, which is policy. It also means she's going to be highlighting which is what the people's jobs and their ability to control and be able to put food on their home, but also the political sector as well. So definitely keep that in mind. Bringing up opportunities for financial gain and increased recognition. This is her time frame for which when the country recognizes her for who she really is. So you're going to see that in Cancer, right? So that's what we're going to see. And then when we start to look at it from more of a different perspective, because Harris, on her birthday, she's a Libra, right? And we asking the question is, how is Libra affected by Venus entering retrograde? Venus entering Aries again. As Venus entered Aries on April 30th, Libras will experience a shift in their social life and relationship, potentially feeling drawn to new connections and friendships. This transit could bring a desire for more freedom and assertiveness in relationships, encouraging Libra to explore their desires and take initiatives. Here's some more detailed look. Increased social activity, which is exactly what we're going to start to see more coming into this era of Venus entering Aries, when we start to see how it starts to become more in the spotlight again. Right? Libras may feel more inclined to explore new social circles and strengthen existing friendship. Desire for freedom and assertiveness. Venus and Aries can encourage Libra to express their desires more directly and be more assertive in their relationships or in their relationship with the nation or with the people. Right? Leadership and relationships. This transit may prompt Libra to take more proactive roles in their relationship, even if they are traditionally more passive. Intent and passionate energy. Venus and Aries could bring a fiery and passionate energy of love and relationship, and potentially leading to intense experiences. Personal growth and self-expression, which is very important, like I said, for what Harris should really need. Libras may be drawn to new people and experiences, particularly those that spark their passion and enthusiasm. trust and intuition. The transit encourages Libra to trust their gut feeling and make decisions that align with their authentic selves, embracing bold choices. Venus and Aries can embolden Libra to take risks and step outside of their decision and align with their authentic self. Right? So you're starting to see this energy here, especially with Aries entering Venus, about the things that were expected from Harris and what she planned to do with that energy. Now, Harris is planning to make a speech. And as of when I'm recording this, it is none other than Tuesday, April 29th at 12:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when I am recording this specific video. Now, this video is supposed to be a very short one because I don't have that much time because I have to go to work. But nonetheless, it's going to be power-packed, jam-packed. Alright, so again, if you want to help out the channel, well, you can do so by liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting the bell icon, engaging with the content. It really helps out the channel tremendously. But also, this video is just for entertainment purposes only and for educational purposes only as well. And if you want to be notified when I do post and upload, go into the comment section below in the description and follow my Blue Sky account or my Facebook group, and I will personally notify you there as well. If you, by any chance, you want to donate to the channel, you can do so. This was requested by so many of you guys to include this link into the YouTube channel, and I have done just that. I added it into the description and the comment section. Any proceeds that you donate will go to helping the channel and potentially, hopefully, getting us a brand new computer device that does not crash. Anyway, besides the point, let's go ahead. Let's begin. Let's take a look at Harris and find out what's going on from there. Alright, so Experience Angels, tell me about Harris and her energy on April 30th, 2025. April 30th, 2025, Venus enters Aries again for Harris. And her big speech on the 100-day mark of 45 Presidency. Okay. Okay, so we have the Page of Swords. We talked about powerful. This is a very powerful energy right here. This is a very powerful energy. Whatever she's doing on this specific day, whatever her speech is, it's going to be a very powerful speech. It's represented by the Page of Swords. Coming in as brave, very strong, very resilient. She's part of that resistant energy. Here we have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is reversed. It is talking about here the loss, but her not feeling lost. She accepted what happened, and she's moving forward. But like I said in the previous video, when the truth comes out about what happened, she will break, and she will need some time to recoup herself a bit. So just make sure you take note of that as well. We do have here the Devil, 45, right? The Devil comes in, right? She accepted the loss to 45. She accepted it for what it is, because she understands now why it happened. She understood why the universe allowed 45 to win, because in order for the U.S. to really be grateful for the thing that it has, it needs to lose it all, right? And this is represented by the Devil. And the final card here is wishful thinking. And this is represented by the Page of Cups. You don't need to wish for it. You don't need to think about what it could be, because it's reality, right? You don't need to wish for what about Medicaid? Those people don't need it. Now you don't have it, That's what it's saying here. Reality has set in. And here you have the Knight of Pentacles. There's an opportunity here, but it's a stalemate, right? There's a stalemate here. And underneath that is the Six of Swords reversed, which means going into peaceful, calmer waters, but it's reversed, which tells us there's trouble. So there is trouble ahead that's coming in with 45. Right? We talked about this. There's a trouble. Whatever this is that she's doing, she's going to cause trouble for 45. And this is the Four of Swords here. The Four of Swords is the ending of an age, an ending of a political dynasty. And here you have it, the Five of Pentacles, right? Leaving, walking away, ending of a political dynasty. And here you have the Ace of Wands, the handing over of power. So I do feel like we're getting towards the end of 45's reign in the United States. But not until, like I said, everything is completely dismantled, because 45 represents the energy of Pluto's return. He does. He represents it in such a strong way that it's very hard to say that it's not. So we're going to use my astrological realm because we're talking about astrology, and there's no better time to do it than now. So let's take a look at that. Let's look at the astrology going on right now in the time where she's making her speech. So Harris, Former Vice President Harris is planning to make a speech tomorrow on April 30th when Venus goes back into Aries. She is a Libra. How does this affect the country, and what do we need to know about the country and her speech, Harris, and the United States being Cancer? Because Venus entering Aries affects Cancer, we know that. And the United States is a Cancer country. Anything else, Spirit? For the Emperor, the ending of the reign. Thank you. And the speech. So this is what's taking place after the speech. This is the speech. This is everything that happened after the speech. So in case you guys are confused about the time frame here, the speech is being taken place here. This is everything that happened from the speech onwards. Thank you. All right, so let's take a look at the page of story. This is the speech. What do we need to know about the speech in particular? We have here the South Node, which means past lives, natural gifts, karmic challenges. Right? She underwent that. She understood why it happened the way it happened. This is talking about the election. Her being chosen as president, but never becoming president, at least not in 2024. We do also have here what is heading in the future. We have retrograde, reversal, deceleration, distance, right? This is retrograde. It's interesting because, like I said, retrograde is in this period right now of ending for Venus. Venus is going to retrograde back into Aries again. It's going to go back into Aries, which it left temporarily, and it's going to go back. I want to know when the next retrograde is. Retrograde 2025. Okay, so let's see. We have a retrograde. Well, Venus retrograde ends May 5th, really, but it's kind of gets towards the end, at the end of April, it says here. But the next retrograde will occur on July 4th to December 10th. Which is the Neptune, which is interesting that comes up. It's like that's on America's birthday, and we're talking about Cancer. So it's interesting. So this is going to be the energy here going forward, that she's going to be very focused on the United States up until July 4th. Right? So expect a lot of energy, a lot of movement with Harris. When it comes to the Five of Cups here and the Devil card, which is represented by the oppression, right? The loss. We're talking about the economy and all those things. We have here momentum, initiative, magnetism. The first quarter moon is in the past here. It's heading in the past. What does that mean? This means the power, the magnetism of 45's reign, his ability to influence the populace and understanding of the American people is coming towards an end. He's not going to be able to control people while she's in the forefront in the spotlight. Underneath the page of cups, though, which is reversed, which is wishful thinking, right? Wishful thinking is something that's determined, that's something that's already going to happen. We have Lilith, which means power, activism, and vengeance, right? So definitely expect 45 to be doing an act of vengeance towards Harris and political opponents, because he's going to do a lot of things that's going to silence them, but also understand one thing in particular. Harris is going to be very vocal. So whatever it is that she's going to be very vocal, she's going to be scaring the crap out of Trump. Now, under the Knight of Pentacles, in between the Knight of Pentacles and the Trouble card for 45, which is the Emperor, we have here, this card comes in as water, which means refreshing mysterious fluid. Remember, I said water is a shape-shifting energy. This is a very emotional turmoil, a very emotional time for the Emperor for 45. Very emotional. Was also complemented in the going in the past, which means Saturn, which means discipline, obstacles, and boundaries. So this is going to be what is going to empower him to do things that's outside the normality and the normal circumstances of the presidency. So he's going to be doing a lot of things that's going to go against the presidency, which he already does already, but this is going to be on the asinine level. This is going to be like 10 times more than what he currently does currently. We do have here on the top of the deck here, we have heading in the future in the upright position. We have here transit, which means insight, movement, and change. Right, so it's heading in this direction here. Transit, there's a movement, there's a change going within 45. And under here, the bottom of the deck here, we have the 12th house of karma, karma, shadow, and secret, which is ironically enough the 12th house of Pisces, which means water. So this is a very interesting setup for how her speech is going to affect the outcome and the energy to 45. Like, she is going to be waning his influence and power. Now, if you are new here, this white card means minor. The bottom of the card here, or like any card that's colored, means major arcana. So spiritual angels, tell me about Harris and her speech against 45 to 100 days time in office, especially on April 30th when Venus enters Aries for the first time again since the retrograde. Can you tell us a little bit more about this? Can you tell me take a pink right there? And any blue? Aqua, okay. Okay, what aqua? Tell me take both. Alright, so these are the cards that I'm getting. Let's take a look and let's find out what he's talking about here. In terms of the speech and the loss, we have here collapse, right? This means that her speech will not collapse. It's going to be a very strong speech. It's also talking about the potentiality of a collapse that's coming. We do have here 45, realizing that he is not the winner, right? So winner is reversed here. Interesting. Again, I can't see what these cards were when I picked them out. Now, underneath the Saturn, on top of the Saturn card and the Water card, the Knight of Pentacles in trouble with the wishful thinking, with Lilith heading in the future, with Transit and the Emperor. What is crossing all this? We have the Lovers card, which is the Biden-Harris administration, but also the Harris-Waltz administration. What it would have been. This is the love, the power of love, and here you have removed. So now, like I said, he won't get removed unnecessarily that quickly, but there is going to be something that's coming that's going to reveal that, oh, he never really won, did he? People are going to be questioning this. Whatever it is that whatever she does, it's going to get on the mind of some people like, oh, he didn't really win, did he? But she's going to do some hints. She's not going to say it directly. We have here no, but it's reversed. It means on. Something is on. Something is on and it's Earth. So something is definitely on, but it's like, it almost feels very much like whatever it is on, he gives a go-ahead for something. This has to do with like some sort of, it almost feels like a fake attack. There's something here that seems fake, if you will. Something here seems fake. So we have here the top of the deck, the bottom of the deck here, which is yes. The top of the deck, we have the story of life. It's reversed. This is not the story of life. This is not the story of how it was supposed to go, but yet it went this specific way. So there is a call for something that is not very earthy, not very grounded. Again, like we said, he's going to be emotionally turmoil in the formation and the element of water, which is earth. And this aspect means that he's going to give a go-ahead for something that is not very grounded, and it's going to be grounded in emotional sense. So definitely expect something to come out, especially revolving around her speech, that's going to trigger 45 going forward. And it's going to be, again, like I said, Harris is going to be in the forefront up until the birth of the United States, which is July 4th, which is not really necessarily the real birthday, but it's the birthday that everybody celebrates, so that's the day that everybody celebrates. But let's definitely expect energy relating to that as well. I think, how old is the United States right now? Because that's going to be very significant. How old is the United States? So the United States this year will be 249 years old. Next year, the United States will be 250 years old, and that normally indicates the end of an empire, an end of a cycle, an end of something. So we're going to talk about that as we get a little bit closer, but nonetheless, it's going to be really interesting to see what comes out. I definitely expect me to do some more information, more readings on Harris going forward, because she will be a big player in the month of May. So we're going to be asking soon, what is Harris's month in May going to look like? So that's what we're going to find out. Alright guys, and this is pretty much it. I do have to go, unfortunately. I would love to make this a longer video, but unfortunately I don't have the time to. So if you want to help out the channel, you can do so by liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting the bell icon, and engaging with the content and sharing this video with others. Really helped out the community so much. With that being said, guys, I love you. Have a great night. Until then, peace out.